So today we're going to do Masechet Abot, the second Perek, Mishnayot, Tet, and Yod. And we're continuing from the previous Mishnah, from Mishnah Het, about the 5 Talmidim of Rabban Yohanan ben Zakkai. Amar lahem. So Rabban Yohanan ben Zakkai asked his 5 students, Se'u ur'u, ezo hi derech yeshara, she'yidbaq ba ha'adam. He asked them a question. He said, you could give me a recommendation for a person to be successful, give me a guideline. Give me something that a person should live his life by. So they answered him. Rabbi Eliezer, this is Rabbi Eliezer ben Horkanos from the previous Mishnah, Omer, Ayin Tova. Ayin Tova means a person who's not jealous, a person who's satisfied with what he has, a person that finds satisfaction in life without always aspiring to something greater than he can achieve. That's a good way for a person to get through life. Rabbi Yehoshua Omer, Haber Tov. This is Rabbi Yehoshua ben Hananiah, right? And he says, Haber Tov. Haber Tov, a good friend. If a person has a good friend, if he befriends people, if he goes out and works in those relationships, that's a great way to approach life. Rabbi Yosef, so Rabbi Yosef HaKohen, he said, Shachen Tov. Now remember, he was the one who said in the previous Mishnah, they described him as a Hasid. So, a person that goes always above and beyond the call of duty. So he said, a Shachen Tov is the best thing, better than a good friend, because a good friend is not always there. A Shachen, though, is next door to your family 24/7. So he puts more emphasis on the influence you might get from a man who's constantly a presence in your life. Rabbi Shimon, this is Rabbi Shimon ben Netanel, Omer haro'et hanolad. Haro'et hanolad means a person who can kind of see a couple of steps ahead and understand that his actions have consequences. And the last one, Rabbi Elazar ben Arach, what does he say? Leb Tov, a good heart. Amar lahem, Rabban Yohanan ben Zakkai said, after seeing all of these different views, his is the best one. Why? His is the most all-inclusive. And the reason is because the heart, if you have a good heart, and your base is good, and your intention is good, anything that comes out will be good. Amar lahem, now he asks them an inverse question. The inverse. What should I keep away from in life? Now, we could have simply said, as we're going to see some of the answers are, just give me the invert, the negative positive. But he couldn't ask, the question is not that simple, because sometimes if we see Hasidut is a great thing, right? A person who goes all the time above and beyond the call of duty. So a person who doesn't do that, is it Rasha? Obviously not. So he asked them, give me practices I should really keep away from. So Rabbi Eliezer Omer Ayin Ra, and again, Ayin Ra is, he said Ayin Tova, jealousy. Rabbi Yehoshua Omer Haber Ra, a bad friend who will bring you to bad stuff. Rabbi Yosef Omer Shachen Ra, same thing, bad neighbors. Rabbi Yosef Omer, now Rabbi Yosef said, Rabbi Shimon said, Haro'et hanolad, person who can see the future, see that there will be consequences to his actions. What does he say? What's a bad thing here? Now he changes it up a little bit. He says, Haloveh ve'eno meshalem, a person who takes a loan without ever having any intent of paying it back. Such a person is acting in a very destructive way, because once people understand what his reputation is, that such a person takes loans and is in the practice of not paying it back, no one will give him money, no one will give this guy a hand, and he'll end up, dying of starvation. And he continues and he says that taking a loan like that, when you know you're not going to pay it back, if you take a loan from a person, you put yourself into debt. It's as if you are taking a loan from God himself. Why? Shne'emar lo ve'rasha' v'lo yishalem Sadiq honin v'notem. The Sadiq is God, right? So it's, in other words, you're in debt to God, and God Himself will take care of the debt. You don't think you're going to pay it? You will eventually. Rabbi Elazar Omer leb ra, a bad heart. And again, Amar lahem, Rabbi Nachman Zakai tells them, Ro'eh ani debrei Elazar ben Arach shebichlal devarav debrechem. He says the same thing. A person with a bad heart, with a bad eye, a person that looks at people with jealousy and hatred, everything will come out bad. Everything. All right? Now, the next Mishnah, they kind of break it down. Hem amlu shelosha debarim. Each one of these hachamim had three things attributed to them personally, beside the question that their master had asked them. So Rabbi Eliezer, remember, he was the one they said, he does not lose a drop, he retains all his knowledge, and he said, Ayin Toba and Ayin Ra. What is the three things he was famous for? He said, number one, Hi kebod haberach habib alecha keshelach. First of all, he said, your honor, in other words, the honor that you give other people should be the same respect that you have for yourself. Respect all people, and don't be quick to anger. Have patience. Number two, shub yom echad lefnei mitatecha. Make teshubah one day before you die. Obviously, what's he saying? He's saying you don't know when you're going to die. No one knows when their number's coming up. So make teshubah every day. Live your life like that. Live your life making teshubah every single day. And three, you should warm yourself by the light, by the fire of the hachamim. However, he qualifies that. He says, watch out, don't get too close to the fire. Don't touch those coals, don't touch those embers. That you don't burn yourself. Why? The bite of hachamim is like the bite of a fox. Now, a fox's bite is particularly potent because it has very sharp little teeth that puncture, have bacteria all over them. It's a messy wound if a shu'al bites you. The sting of the hachamim, akisat akrab, it's the sting of a scorpion. Pointed, direct, potent. Lehishat saraf. And when the hachamim, lehisha means whisper, when they pray, they have the prayers, right? Everything that comes out of their mouth is like an angel. God listens to them. And everything they say is like hot coals that comes out of their mouth. So be very, very careful. Don't let yourself be so loose in front of hachamim. Befriend them. Don't get close enough that you feel comfortable enough to just let go and take liberties with their kabod, because they represent the Torah, and you have to be very, very careful when speaking to Talmidei Hachamim and the way that you treat them and respect them. And that is Mishnayot, Tet, and Yod.